Hey everyone, it's Brian here. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and I really hope you all are having a wonderful time. So, for the longest time, to all of you who've been following on the royal family stories, there's one outlet that has been very defensive of them and never speaks a single negative word about this royal family, and it's always the BBC. The BBC has always been very defensive of the royal family from day one, and we all know why. It's because that family definitely controls the BBC, right? And guess what? People are now realizing what BBC has been doing all this time, especially in the wake of the Epstein scandal and Prince Andrew being involved in that. And Prince William also being involved with someone that was very close to Jeffrey Epstein. So instead of BBC actually reporting on that, it has been deflecting, only speaking the positive things about the family, like Prince William's Valentine's, I don't know, photo or something like that, instead of actually addressing the real issues. And not only are people realizing that, even other media outlets. And this time round, a Scottish media outlet is the one that has called out the BBC's actions. And this outlet is called The National. So The National wrote an article and it was titled, "The BBC has been branded state propaganda channel after latest royal coverage." Now, that headline in itself just tells it all. Of course, the BBC has been the royal family's propaganda channel. They have been just praising the royals, saying how they look good, how they can never do any wrong, whereas in the background, things are actually exploding. While in the background, there are so many people complaining, so many things that are coming out, but they seem like they are blind to all of that. And now people and even other outlets are like, enough is enough. So let me just show you or read to you what The National had actually written concerning this. So they were like, the BBC has been branded a state propaganda channel after its latest coverage of the royal family, which critics say has been overly differential to Prince William while largely ignoring the ongoing scandals surrounding his uncle, Prince Andrew, even adding that Prince William has received largely positive coverage from the BBC in recent weeks, including stories about Valentine's Day photos with his wife Catherine, his charity work, and his recent visit to Saudi Arabia. However, the same period has seen fresh revelations about Prince Andrew's links to the late pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein, with more documents being made public from the so-called Epstein files. Sharing an image of some of those headlines, Declassified UK director Mark Curtis said, quoting, "The BBC's coverage of William is as you'd expect from any national state propaganda channel." That is what Declassified UK director Mark Curtis said concerning BBC's coverage of Prince William. And I think it's very, very true. Obviously, we've just seen the BBC covering the positive stories about Prince William and nothing negative. Like, they aren't actually reporting the truth of what is happening. It would be okay if they had balanced their reporting. That is, both the positive and also the truth of what is happening. That is the negative stories. But no, they're just focusing on the positive stories about William while ignoring the others. And that is why people are now branding the BBC's coverage as a national state propaganda channel. Yeah, because that is exactly what the BBC has been all this time. And people responding to this national article were just agreeing with it 100%. And let me just read you a couple of comments. For example, one person was like, the BBC is the PR department for the palace and has been since 1922, and even quoted an article from The Guardian which revealed royal family has power to censor BBC coronation coverage. Yeah, I remember that story. It was actually during King Charles's coronation in 2022, right? And the BBC only reported the positive stories about the coronation instead of reporting how the budget was actually so huge. Instead of reporting how so much money was actually spent on that coronation, like how other media outlets were reporting. Instead, they were so focused on covering up for this family. And then someone else even commented saying, "Duh, name one news outlet in the UK that is not beholden to the monarchy. There's a reason the UK media is ranked last in Europe for trustworthiness." Of course, there's a reason for that, and most of it is because of the media. The media is very much untrustworthy. Everything they print is lies, and most of them just act as propaganda machines for that family. And this person even quoted another article from The Guardian, which stated, "British TV allowed monarchy to censor coverage of king's coronation." Yeah, I think we all remember that story. And another person even said, "The BBC has become mediocre and its journalistic work is based on propaganda and favoritism." Exactly. I think that is what I've said. And someone else even said, "Only now, it's always been the channel for royal PR that is propaganda." That's very, very true. Then someone else, "Well, this isn't news. The BBC, along with all other media outlets, are propaganda machines for the parasites and pedophile shielding royals. This has always been the case." Yeah, that has always been the case from the very beginning. That is their only go-to channel for protection from all the negative stories. So yeah, I just love that many people are catching up with this, and now even media outlets are actually reporting the BBC for what it has always been. It's been a real propaganda machine from the very beginning. Literally, the royal family can say anything to the BBC, control the BBC however way that they want, just because they don't want information to get out there. So I hope more and more truth is going to come out, because clearly truth has been coming out slowly by slowly, and I just want to see the entire thing come out. So yeah, I don't know about you all, so let me know your opinion on this. Then I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.